I had a lump sum of money. Let's say it was 5 grand, 10 grand at the time. I said, you know what? What I really want to focus on learning how to trade. So I put all of it inside of an account. It was scary. So now the big trades came, like, all right, let me trade NQ and actually do something with it. I put in 2 contracts and I walked away with it and profited with a stop loss because I worked during the day. I came back and said like 19,000 and something dollars. I lost my mind.
Good morning, TradeLocker.
Good day, good day. How's it going, everyone? Apologies for the mobile view today.
No problem. You're at work, right?
Yes, so I am 50-50, I call it. We have the ability to pick up and leave, which I actually wanted to discuss today because these are the things that people don't discuss. But I don't have the number that I would like as of yet to possibly leave. So yes, I'm full-time still bank manager during the day. Trading actually contributed to attaining this a few years back as well. I started trading in 2017. From there, we had a nice journey. TradeLocker was the solution. I stumbled along TradeLocker and I noticed the user interface was something I was looking for. So moving forward, I said, you know what, let me stick around. Let's see how TradeLocker progressed. As you guys started to progress, I was helping the community as an early user anyway. So I started answering questions with Josh of the West. I used to make fun of him and say, I'm Joe of the East. For those of you who remember that comment. Yes. So I was invited to become a moderator. Started moderating for you guys at the time. As I started fine tuning my own trading based upon what I would see, what I would read, any other educations. And that pretty much is the summary of the journey of how I went from beginner to finding you guys. But now the actual progress of my trading is as follows. I started out pretty much how most of my generation started out. You either joined network marketing, trading version of network marketing, or you just happen to stumble upon baby pips in a couple of videos, seeing someone say, yeah, you can make $5,000 tonight, which is the usual, right? So you stumble upon these videos and these individuals and you realize like, okay, this is a good opportunity. I ended up joining an MLM. What I noticed was it wasn't the knowledge that I was seeking. Of course, these MLMs and these websites and YouTubers all provided the same beginner knowledge, which everyone can basically find on babypips.com. The world, if you're a real trader, everyone knows about babypips.com. They tell you, hey, go figure out for free. Go learn it yourself. Don't pay anyone. So through baby pips, etc., you'll learn the basic support and resistance. You'll learn the basics, the terminology, ticks, pips, understanding the back engines trading. So from there, I started typically trading the regular support and resistance. I'm, of course, over leveraging, losing in the beginning, blowing $50 here, 100 there, it adds up. I think what really changed for me was I had a lump sum of money. Let's say it was 5 grand, 10 grand at the time. Come in. I said, you know what I really want to focus on learning how to trade. So I put all of it inside of an account.
Live.
Right?
Immediately live.
Live. Yes.
When was this?
I did that for myself. This was, okay, so now let's say 2018, beginning 2019. So about a year in, I had wins, I had losses, but now I notice I'm addicted to the lifestyle that I wanted, that I was seeing. I said, okay, I love how it feels to win. No one likes how it feels to lose, but I can walk away from it and not feel emotionally drained. So I said, okay, this is something I want to do full time. How can I turn this into full-time trading? So yeah, you'll jumper.
If I can jump.
Go ahead, sorry.
Quick question. What was it like to put that sum of money immediately and then?
It was scary. It was a test because if you know yourself, which is what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
When you know yourself as a person, you will either put limits, you'll do certain things so that, like gambling, you'll go to the casino, you'll say, hey, I'm going downstairs with $100, not the whole 1,000, as an example. So I said, okay, if I put this 5-10 grand in, instead of trading a demo account, I'm going to be conservative now because it's real money and I'm not trying to lose 5-10 grand all at once. So it forced me, because of my personality, conservative. I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with 0.01s on the minis, until I'm comfortable scaling up instead of dropping a full standard lot on a demo or a prop firm account. And now you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I made a 10 grand in 5 minutes. So I had to build myself up to it. Okay.
When you started, when you pushed that button, okay, you said scary button, you pushed it. Did you have luck in the beginning, or it was just in the beginning immediate failure, immediate setback, or
So I created a trading plan. I would not pass 0.01 until I made $1,000 profit over time. That was the catch. So for every $500 to $1,000, that's when I would put another point on NASDAQ, another 0.01. So now I created milestones. This is all important, guys. I'm telling you, trust me, there's a reason why I'm speaking about these key facts, because everyone can trade. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone knows, as long as you can have a 60% winning rate, you can trade and become a profitable trader. You just have to know when to walk away. So yes, the 5,000, let's say, dropped to about 4,200 before I said, okay, let's switch up what I'm doing. Obviously, my style of trading right now, what I was doing for support and resistance wasn't okay. So I took a break. I switched my trading style. I learned that I trade better opening market, 9 a.m. to about 12. I'm good with volatile markets. I'm good at trading the news. I'm good trading certain aspects. So what happened? I stuck to it. I said, if I was a full-time trader today, what would I do? I would wake up, I would trade 9 a.m. to 12, and I'll go about my business. That's it. So I kept that habit. I started trading. I would mark up 8:30. I would wait till, 9:30 to see how the market would open, because usually the first 5-10 minutes is kind of indecisive. Yeah. From there, I learned about the opening range breakout. So that is a generic strategy, opening range breakout. I started to fine tune this opening range breakout strategy that you can Google anywhere, which is usually the first 30 minutes of an opening market. For me, it would be the New York session. So for me, I kind of fine tuned it. I put highs and lows. I put a value area, a point of control, just so, because I started to notice certain habits of the market, honoring the opening range breakout, which we'll go live in a second just to give you guys an idea. So just so you guys can see where I am now, as of today, before the market turns and I close, I'm going to share my TradeLocker screen real quick. Looking at the screen, this is a long on S&P 500 because I started a new challenge with my little group of proving once again that if you take your time, you can turn $100 into more. So as of today being the first trade, this was a long on S&P 500. Let's see if I could actually mark up some of the areas mobile. This is a real skill for those who can mark up mobile. Kudos to you. Let me get a square. Let's use the brush. So as I'm looking, okay, no, that's not going to work. Let's just use the arrows. Let me just get rid of this line quickly. Okay, we're just going to use rays and arrows, trend lines. So as you can see here, what I was waiting for the breakthrough of this area. Why? Usually, if you notice, if you look in the past, if you look from January to about end of March, we're usually in ranging markets due to news, politics, et cetera, et cetera. I take that into account. So from my past years of trading, usually January through March, the market is in a trend, but it's liquidity hunting, which are these bottom wicks. So I waited for the retest to break this area where you see that bottom wick right here. I happened to not look. I should have put a pending order, but I was, of course, working. So I missed this entry. If you look at where I entered, usually people put a square over here for a consolidating area or the trap zone. I was waiting for a breakout of this trap zone, so we're not stuck in between waiting for some type of action to happen. So I entered at 60.32.13. I waited for some news to break out, as we knew that around 10:30 today news was going to happen. And then I placed my stop loss to make the trade risk free above my entry. So right now, even if I were to walk away, I would walk away with $6. But we're not going to do that. So live, we're going to trail our stop loss a little bit. I do hope you guys incorporate a trailing function naturally soon, where the stop loss will trail by itself. That is something that I do wish you guys happen to have. But to quickly touch on my actual opening range strategy, if you were to look, it looks a little messy, yes, because it's mobile right now. But this is what I fine-tuned into something called the HOK breakout, opening range breakout, or HOK orb. So let's look at today. Let's only focus on today. It's New York session, right? So it's a little confusing, as you can see, but the green line would be the session's first 30 minutes or hour high, and the red line would be the opening range breakout session's first 30 minutes low. Just like TradeLocker, the dashed lines are the session. So the New York sessions high and low. That light blue area that you see there is considered the value area. That's where most of the entries are currently. Then you have that skinny red line, which is the point of control, which you could say is the average of the market based upon the volume profile. As you can see, the point of control is where the most volume is anyway. So I noticed 3 rules amongst the HOK opening range breakout. I need a brush. So what I notice is, as you could see, from 9:30 to about 10, the market's in indecision. Then you have the indecision candle, which wicks on both sides. That was actually the beginning of the permanent low for the ORB, the opening range session, because the green line and the red line do not move. They're now fixed after 30 minutes. So let's remove this. Okay. So in a perfect world, you would have at 10 o'clock, when the line is now permanent, you would have pressed buy at that perfect wick. That's in a perfect world, but that did not happen. You would have bought right there, and you would have rode it all the way to the session's high. If you're someone who trails your stop loss, you could also have a continuation or a second entry. So now let's say that you missed this entry from the beginning. How would you enter a second time? As you're watching it, the chart, without entering, you're going to wait for it to test the high to see what actually is happening. Is it going to reject the high? Is it going to come back down and consolidate in this area as like supply and demand, or support and resistance? Or will it become a continuation market with a fake out? So as I stated before, January through March is usually ranging markets, but it does stick to the trend. So I waited for the retest on the point of control, the red line, which it literally wicked. And then the continuation happened. So now let's visit TradeLocker. The reason why I had to do it is TradeLocker does not turn sideways on the mobile. So I wanted to show you on a trading view pretty much why I chose that entry. Okay. So that is a strategy that I actually came up with over time based upon my style of trading, which is, okay, I know my personality. I know my emotions. I know how much I want to look at the chart. I don't want to sit there and stare at the chart all day like everyone else does. I'm going to come back to the camera, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm an individual. I do not wish to stare at the charts all day. Some people like it. Me, I just want, okay, if I could look at this intensively for 30 minutes, let's do that. Put that to the side. Okay, now I'm just going to check on my progress of my trades throughout the day.
Did you have that habit from the start, or did you have to work?
It developed. So as I was stating, first it was baby pips, support and resistance, just drawing strictly support and resistance. Then over time, I realized, hey, I lose more at nighttime. I'm not going to trade at night anymore. What's a good time for me to start trading? Okay, I notice I make more money in the morning. What does that mean? Oh, okay. You're someone who needs a lot more value. So you have to trade where there's value. Or if I want to trade at night, I would have to trade gold or USD JPY, because I'm someone who I need the value because of my own patience, my own analogies. So now that we mastered that, okay, what is something that can supplement the fact that I'm trading at 9:30? Okay, there's something called an opening range breakout. What is that? Let's do the research on it. The opening range breakout is based on the first 10 to 30 minutes. I studied that. From there, I fine-tuned it. As I told you, I had a point of control just to see where all the volume actually is sitting. The value area as you saw, if it's between the red and the green line, it's usually in the value area. The value area usually means that it's going to consolidate for the rest of the day until it chooses a direction. So these are the little things you start to notice as you're taking your notes. If you sit there and you journal and you take notes, you'll start to see habits. You'll start to see, like gravity, I'm starting to see laws. Okay, when it retests a high, there's 2 things that can happen. It's either going to test the high and continue, or it's going to break and drop down to the low of the day. So those are 2 things I started to notice. I started to turn it into laws. Like, okay, so these are 3 scenarios that can happen with my HOK opening range breakout strategy that's fine-tuned. Okay, so as I showed you just one instance of it, which was a long today, I started showing other individuals. And then as you start to show other people, you start to develop, I call it's like not teacher's remorse. Because you're teaching it or showing others as you're explaining it, you learn more about it yourself. Now you're actually teaching yourself more about yourself because now you're showing other individuals, right? So
I'm saying that you can't master anything if you can't explain it to other people.
exactly, you can't master it if you cannot reiterate it to someone else. So over time, this is the strategy that actually made that big 17,000. So there's a lot of good prop firms out there. So now understanding prop firms, the prop firm was my opportunity to really gain liquidity with them. So now that I kind of mastered Choke Orb concept, I said, you know what? Let me try Top Step. Let me try MFF. Let me try. There was another one, something Pips. That's the one with Q Banks. I tried the other one. The rules actually strengthened and gave me discipline. The whole understanding that you have as a max stop loss, right? That actually, because I took the concept differently. I understood that now. Hey, okay, what if you're using a 50,000 account? Your max stop loss is 2,000. If you break that down, that's what, about 250 a day for a week. So if you create a number that you're willing to walk away every day, which for me was $250 every time my stop loss would hit 250, I don't care how perfect I think my trade will be or my markups or whatever paid group that you went into and they're sending the best signal. No, 250, you walk away, you're done for the day. Go home, bro. You're on the bench. Bench yourself. That's it. You're not a starter today. That's it. You're done.
That's quite
cool,
man.
That rule right there is why I still have money, is why I'm profitable, and is why people who can trade 60% of the time with a win ratio with 60% can still have a successful life, because I am a great example of that.
Know when to
so the proper
right?
Right. So I'll give you an example. A generic week for me would, let's say Monday. Monday, I usually lose. So Monday, I kind of stopped trading on Mondays because I noticed I lose on Mondays. Tuesday would actually do what the markup is. So I stopped trading on Mondays. So let's say Tuesday I trade, I lose 250. Wednesday I trade, I lose 250. Now we're down 500. We have 1,500 left to go. Thursday, you place a trade. Oh my gosh, it happened to be a good intraday trade where you held it and it stayed in one direction, but now you made up the 500. So now you're up. Let's say that profit was $1,000. So now you're up for the week 500. The next day was a better day. You're up $1,000 from 3 trades. You played the high, you played the low. Let's say I'm just throwing something out there.
Yep.
Okay, now you're up 1,500. And then the last day you lose the 250, even though you have a more of a loss ratio. So you're actually, your winning percentage is less than 50%, but your trades, because you were able to walk away with the 250, but let your winnings run, you were able to actually end your week profitable. This really changed my whole concept. Because, like I said, everybody can learn how to mark support, resistance, supply, demand, ICT, smart money, whatever it is that you're trading. But if you do not apply the principles of discipline, if you do not apply the fundamentals of revenge trading, don't do it. Walk away on a loss number that you picked, and don't over leverage. Let there be breathing room for your trade. Stop chasing the profit. If you stick to those daily faithfully and take it seriously, no matter what your strategy is, you'll figure out the fine lines of what will work for you with that strategy. I'll shut up now and actually let people ask questions.
Drop some questions, but this was very valuable, man. You can scroll through the comments if you want to. Some of them.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So we have, if anyone feels free, do you teach your strategy? Yes, I do teach my strategy. I wouldn't mind bringing it in here every now and then. I'll do a session, a 9 a.m. session or end of day recap once in the blue for you guys, just because also I am a moderator and you guys sent me a wonderful care package that I was supposed to wear for this. But yeah, I owe you guys a few videos.
No worries. You did great. It's a great unboxing video. I wanted to actually ask you, I have a question. You, on your Twitter, on your X profile, I see you call it decentralized trading community.
Yes.
Why
so decentralized?
I mean, we get a good idea why is it named like that, but I want to hear from you.
So decentralized is, you guys actually are included on this conversation. Some brokers allow you to fund your accounts through crypto. And if you're someone who kind of wants to live off the grid, there's ways of doing that with crypto and trading and not having to KYC, etc. So decentralized trading, I just want you to become your own bank. We find different ways through crypto, through Forex, through futures and indices as a group. I specialize in NAS, S&P, and Ethereum. Those are the only three things I will call. I'm not going to sit here and try to call something else. If you specialize in gold and I see over time that you're good with gold, you can start calling in the group too, et cetera, et cetera. Decentralized traders is just a group of everyone that has been vetted, that's allowed to basically share their concepts and ideas. But yes, a lot of those individuals are now actually here. So you may see that. Do you still use a lot of 0.01s? It depends on my balance, Rob. Well, hold on. Let me start from here. Do I provide signals? Yes. Okay. Well, what time in your trading journey did you start to see? The minute I incorporated the $250 walk away, because I took it from the prop firm. So once I incorporated that, it took me 2 weeks to pass a prop firm. I passed the prop firm 2 weeks. If you guys are familiar with Top Step, apologies, thing which one it is, but it was Top Step. I passed Top Step, became a funded trader, and I took my time. I kept the same concepts. So the first week of being a funded trader, I was very nervous. It was like $50. Okay, close. $100 close. I was closing everything. I was building the account. I was making a cushion is what us prop firmers call it. Yeah. So I made the cushion of about 1,500 before I started doing big trades. So now the big trades came like, all right, let me trade NQ and actually do something with it. I put in 2 contracts, and I walked away with it and profited with a stop loss because I worked during the day. I came back and said like 19,000 and something dollars. I lost my mind, right? I lost my mind. Of course, I trailed my stop loss. So I'm thinking it's going to go further. And it finally came down and it hit 17,000, which is the famous $17,000 trade. For those of you who do watch, if you happen to participate in Top Step, they did shout it out on the YouTube. It was Joseph W., 17 grand funded account. But from there, yes, I was able to go purchase a car and I put the rest of the funds into my TradeLocker. So with TradeLocker, back to the question of do I still use 0.01s? If my balance is below $1,000, I'm doing 0.01s. If I'm above $1,000, then I'll start scaling up. So every 500, I'm adding another 0.01 in my trade. So this is the whole concept of consistent trading and scaling your trades now. Instead of just jumping from 0.01 to 0.10 to a standard lot, you'll start to see you'll either add 2 entries of 0.01 or you just do a 0.02 entry. Right. Keep the same risk management, but now instead of it being 250, mentally you have to walk away. Now your walk away is 500 because now it's 2 trades. You just doubled your number. Yeah. So I scale it up. The max that I do, really, to be honest, for myself, I really don't pass 0.50 on a NASDAQ trade. After 0.50, I notice my heart starts to go like this a little bit still. So I'm like, all right, what? I don't like seeing that much red. Even though I understand the whole drawdown concept, you have to let it cook. But for me, that's why I say you have to know yourself. If you're someone who can't see a big loss, if you're not someone who can see a negative $1,000, don't do it to yourself. You got to stay with smaller trades. 0.01, 0.01, 0.01. As it goes in profit, stack, put a stop loss, but while you're in profit, make the trade risk free. Okay, big fan, sir. My brother, which channel is it? At what time? You'll have a good daily go over edge. What account size did you start with? So for what? For TradeLocker? So for prop firms, I started with 50,000, right? See, good man. If your heart starts racing, scale back down. Yes. But I started with 50,000 on a prop firm account. I moved about 5 grand into the TradeLocker account. So for those of you who don't know, when you're trading prop firm, you're not really trading 50,000. You have to think of it as, think of your maximum loss as the amount you're trading. If you think about it that way, $50,000 account, you're only trading 2,000. So 2,000 is you blowing your account or liquidating your account on TradeLocker, right? So I put 5 grand in, like, okay, I'm trading 100 grand because I can leverage standard lots worth of whatever, 500 to 1. So it's the same concept. People just didn't mentally see it or compare it to that yet. So once I figured that out, I said, oh, I can do this myself on my own account now that I have the liquidity, where the only issue I really had was I needed to buy a car. So the car problem's gone. I have this liquidity. Now let's actually scale. So now I started to scale my accounts. The thing with my group now, because I have a group that I call Kings Avenue, which is strictly TradeLocker trading. In that group, which is the signal group for those of them asking. My goal is for everyone to take profits out Friday. If you trade with us starting Monday, you should be taking profits out with us on Friday. Because I love screenshotting everyone else's profits and posting it, wherever.
So if I start with you this Monday, by Friday, I need to have some profits already.
Exactly. Yes. And it's never traded before. Yes, you should have something, because first of all, I'm starting you small. So I'm telling you, start with $100 and you're not moving that 0.01 to nothing. I don't care. And you're starting on minis. Yeah. So yes, you're $1, $2, $3, $5. Yes. Why? Because you have to get used to it. I don't care. You're going to get used to it first. You're not going to blame me for losing $200-$300. I'm actually the annoying teacher. And I tell you that up front. I'm like, listen, I'm annoying. Why? Because I actually care about you. But we do good. I'll show you a little bit. I'll show you right now, actually. My co-captain, I call him, he's killing it right now as I'm here. So as you're watching, look, Gabe is killing it right now. Boom. Micro futures. He's already up to a couple of $100, right? This was my call from earlier. I told you I trade both futures and TradeLocker. So I post the TradeLocker and I post the futures for whoever is following. But as you can see here, for that's all we do together, everybody. We post if we lose together. So look, this was a loss. It was like, oh man, but why did we lose? So certain things is what we're looking for. Let's see if there's any other questions. I'm trying to pass. What's the smallest account you ever had? $50. So the funny story about that, Texas, is the day that we did it happened to be an NFP day, which is actually this Friday. I did a 0.01 and I just kept scaling the 0.01s and then it became like $400 or $500. It was a bet that I can't scale on command because someone said, oh, what? You never post this. You don't have a Lamborghini. Prove to me you could flip a $50 account. So I said, okay, no problem. You turn the 50 into $300-$400. It's not much, but the point was proven. So that was the smallest that I started with. When you trade, what time frames do I use? I do top-down analysis. So I'll start with daily just to see where we are, just so you're not in a daily trap. I skip the weekly. I come down to 4 hour. I come down to the 1 hour. I go down to 15 minutes, 5 minutes. I trade the 5 minute for entry. I'll watch 5:15 and the hourly. What is the smallest account? Trying to pass a challenge right now with Blue Guardian. Blue Guardian's actually nice. My friend actually did something with them. His name was, I went to school with, if you ever watch their channel, me and KP went to school together in Connecticut. He's another one. I'll bring him for you to have another interview from his perspective if needed. He's a profitable trader too. It is. He just moved to Miami. What should I be using for lot size? Well, it's 100. If it's a 100K challenge, do what's comfortable for you. So Blue Guardian, their leverage is a little different from KOT. So KOT, a 0.05 is equivalent to like a 0.20 in Blue Guardian. So you kind of have to feel it out. I can't really tell you the leverage to use. What I would do is I would scale it 0.05 at a time just to see how it feels. Okay. See what your loss is per tick, because that's where it's going to matter. Lot size calculator, but TradeLocker is the life, the all do for you. Exactly. TradeLocker is the life. I love TradeLocker. I'm not going anywhere. I was here when people were cursing. You listen, Josh, myself, Razor, the things that you guys put us through with the community. Oh my God. But we are in a great place now. Yes.
I believe so. I think you missed a question from Black Sheep above. Do you swing the positions or strict to day trading in and out?
Okay. So no, it's a mix. It depends on the scenario. A day like today, I'm swinging. So at live right now, am I still in it? Okay, good. I'm still in it. So a day like today, looking at the chart, I'm leaving the stop loss there. I'm not going to scale the stop loss anymore. And if it happens to continue upward, I'm going to leave it as a swing. So this was a day trade. This one is specifically a day trade that has the potential of turning into a swing because I do not see it stopping. I see S&P going to an all-time high, especially now that gold is moving. So see what gold is doing. And as you see, my favorites is low. We hit an all-time high last night. So what is that? At 2882? Yeah, 2882 was the all-time high. So we're still in a good place. Bitcoin is at a good DCA, and like I don't see Nasdaq dropping anytime soon. Do me a favor, guys. Backtest. Go look at the previous 5 to 10 years, January through March. all of the charts look like this. You see crazy wicks for liquidity hunt stop losses, and then it just continues in one trend until about March. That's when the markets start to change. I classify the markets into different sections throughout the year. So usually election years are all bullish usually. So all of 2024, technically, if you look at the chart, was a nice bullish trend.
Yeah.
Because it's Trump season and if the economy has a good sentiment for him, we're still going to continue that extension.
How do you find it now with Trump in the office and the market's been pretty? I mean, I've heard traders.
So I'm contradicted, right? I'm actually contradicted because my banker side of me has one opinion and then the trader side of me has another opinion, because the banker side of me, I'm worried about basis points, rate cuts. I'm worried about, tariffs. The trader side of me is like, bring it all. Let the market volume crash. I'm putting in that sell. So it's kind of a contradiction to me internally when it comes to that. But we have about 3 minutes left, guys, sadly, for my day. Let me see if there's any questions left.
Just one crypto on TradeLocker, and that's it. You can.
Yes, when the spreads are low. So you'll notice something. You'll enter a trade and all of a sudden, let's say you put a 0.10 on Bitcoin. You're like, whoa, buddy, why are those two lines so far apart? And why am I negative $30-something from entry? The spread sometimes is a little crazy. So I try to wait towards the nighttime for entries. But yes, I do trade. I trade XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum on TradeLocker. Solana, I'd rather just buy Solana as a full and just hold it. But the other ones, yes. It's very profitable. You're not going to pay as much fees as if you were trading it elsewhere. So TradeLocker does allow lower fees for trading crypto versus other institutions. But that's about it in a nutshell. Yes, don't be a stranger, guys. Ask me anything. And I'll definitely come and teach HOK Orb or opening range breakout a morning that I am free at home. So we have hours, okay?
Thank you, man.
But until then,
thank you and telling your story.
And I'm going to go now, so I'm going to drop. I will see you in the trade room.
Have a good day. Okay, guys, I'm just going to drop Joe's Twitter account, X account, Joe Royalty. What a great name. You can follow him over there. You can reach out to him over there. You can reach out to him in our Discord. And that's it. It was great to see you guys again. Thank you, Shockwave. Thank you, guys.